Ancient music.
Hey, what's up, family? This is Keith and Bible, some Gossip Music Podcast, here with another episode. But before we get started, let me remind everybody, if you haven't yet, go to Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, or whatever platform, and subscribe, or like, or follow my page. Today, I got a special guest with me because I call her my sister. We went to college together, and she rolled my back till I graduated, and I love her for that. Her name is Roxanna Byrd. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. I'm excited to have you here because
I am excited too.
I know we about to have fun. So we just gonna jump straight into the interview. This is my sister, y'all. We get on the phone, we clown from the time we get on to the time we got off. So I'm excited just to have her here with me today. But we're gonna jump into the interview. So Roxanna, tell us something about you, your upbringing, and where you from.
Okay, so my upbringing and where I'm from, I'm far away, Grand Prairie, Texas. Real far away from
Hallway.
raised in Grand Prairie, Texas, a little old holiness church, growing up, um, singing in the church in the children's choir and youth choir. Um, my family just originated from the Dallas area, so not far from you.
Okay. Cause a lot of people, well, I haven't told everybody yet. She's a excellent singer, an excellent producer, and vocal coach. And at what age, what made you get into music? Cause for some people it's different things. Some people come later on in life. But what made you get into music like you did?
Well, I grew up in music. My whole family is in music. My grandmother played the piano for a church for over 40 years. My mother sings. My dad is a musician, a bass musician, bass guitar like you. So my whole family, all my aunts, everybody grew up. We all grew up in music. I was singing as a little child, leading solos in the children's choir, and I don't know. One day, my pastor, he's of course he's not living anymore, but he it was we were in a little old holiness church, and he prophesied on me that one day that I would be, a professional singer, because he saw a record spinning as he was praying for me. He saw a record spinning, and so that through that prophecy, it took me on a journey. I started to have a passion to do more in that area. And I started directing choirs when I was a child. I started
Wow.
directing at 12 years old. And so, and just from there, I've just always been singing. I produced my first project in 2000, the year 2000. It was my
Okay.
first one that I produced on my own, so we won't talk about that.
But I don't think people understand like music. Those that us like me and you that love music, it just grabs you, and you can't just drop it off on the side and pick it back up. It's just
Right.
nothing about it. It take you in and grab you and grab a hold of you.
Right. It's been my life. I grew up, music was in my home always. My mom, that's all we listened to was gospel music. We didn't listen to anything else but gospel music all day,
Same here,
twice on Sunday. So,
same here, same here. But what are some of the artists you grew up listening to? Cause
well, because it was, my mom, she loved to sing too. So she, Shirley Caesar, my mom actually sounds like Mahalia Jackson. So
oh
we
wow,
had a lot. She, to this day, she still sounds like Mahalia Jackson. And
wow.
so we had a lot of that. Tape Six, the Winans, uh, you know, the Clark Sisters, the old choirs,
The Thomas
Mississippi Mass
with
Choir, of course.
Thomas Whitfield,
Yes,
Clay Evans, and yeah, I
r-
know exactly all
yes.
that.
Oh, it was deep in my home. Deep.
Same
Yeah,
here. I remember getting up every Sunday morning, and before I did anything, I would go straight to the record player with the album, with the turntable on top, and I was pulling out the album. It was every Sunday morning, and really almost every day I was just into music, the Hawkins,
yes.
the Winans, BBCC, Commission, of course.
Right, commission. Yes,
Yes, I was just influenced in music, and I said you had that same thing going up.
same thing. It loved it,
Yes,
and to this day, we love it.
because no, and this a fact, a stat. Gospel music is only 5% of the music business, but you be amazed at the impact that it play on everybody's life growing up. Most R&B artists, most secular musicians founded their way coming to the church, and a lot of people
Yeah.
be amazed.
Oh yeah, most R&B artists, country artists,
Yes,
uh, they came through the church.
yes,
Most artists came through the church first. So yeah, it impacted. Uh, it's the foundation. I believe it's the foundation. It's the root of music because it's soul.
yes,
It's the soul of music.
yes.
So yeah, that's where they get it from.
So I know you went to school and you graduated with your degree in music. When did you realize, man, this is what I can do? Music is what I can do. I can teach, I can and pour and put it to other people about music in the proper way and the real way of learning music. What point did you realize you can do that?
Well, I tell you what, it actually came out of a tragedy, out of trauma in my life. I've done music all my life. I directed, at a very young age. Up and even, some years ago, I was the music director for a church for 17 years. It was my ex. People don't know that about me, but I was a former pastor's wife, and some things happened, and we had to part our ways. It was a tragic situation, but I had directed the music in that church for 17 years, and but I was a stay-at-home mom, a first lady. Okay, so I had no skills as far as credentials on the paper, that people really
Mm-hmm.
want to see when you're trying to be professional a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I've directed, I know the music, I've taught choirs, I've done all of that, but I found myself in a situation that now I'm going to have to make money with my gift. I got to provide for myself because here I am, freshly divorced, and now I don't have anything. I don't have a job. I don't have. So what can I do? I can do music. It comes natural. So what do I need to do? I have to go to school to get the credentials, the paper, so that because I've always taught, I know how to do all that stuff, but I wanted to be taken seriously because I know I was in a position where I had no outlets anymore. So I went to school, and I've always known music was going to be a part of my life for the rest of my life. Uh, I always thought about teaching. Uh, you know, the old lady that you see, the elderly lady that teaches young people. She has those square glasses on, and she's like,
Yeah,
"Now listen,
exactly.
project, enunciate," all of that. And that's my dream, actually. To be that elderly lady that's just teaching young people to sing. enunciate, you know.
Exactly. And I
So
loved it. I love it. I
yeah,
love it.
yeah. So I went to school because I had to, and that was my why. I had to go to school and lock in and get that degree, so that, and in the process of me getting a degree, God opened up a door through our department head, Dr. Brown at the college, and she recommended me to the Lancaster Music School to teach there. And at that point, I had not graduated yet. I was like, oh my goodness, I don't know. You know, I've teach in churches, but not in a school. I don't know why I was intimidated, but you know, fear comes on us sometimes. And
Exactly.
yeah, and so I went on the interview and I was highly recommended by her. I don't think I did well in the interview, but because she recommended me, they hired me, and I started working at Lancaster Music School and teaching several students vocal and beginner piano, intermediate piano. And I started to really like that. I love the individual part of it, where you teach one student at a time versus an entire choir, because you can
Exactly.
have more impact on one student at a time. And
Exactly.
so from there, I had a desire. My desire was, okay, I'm giving, I'm doing this for them, but I want to have my own private uh, business. And so I want to do this on a private level. And so graduated from the college, and then I'm still working at Lancaster Music School, but the Lord opened up also for me to start my own business in my home. And so I teach more students in my home than at the Lancaster Music School. So we opened up Songbird Sound Studio out
Yes,
of our
ma'am.
home. And so I teach vocal lessons and piano. And then my husband, he's upstairs. He has his own studio, and he does the production part of it. So I teach them how to sing, and we record. We're getting ready to start work. We're working with one young lady, and she's gonna do her first cover next week. Her
Oh,
first cover
wow.
song in our studio. So God has been good. And then I'm also I have a vocal lab at my church, my new church, that God, they helped me through that time of struggle and trauma. North City's United Pentecostal Church in Beltline, on Beltline in Garland, Texas. And so I have a vocal studio there, and I have several students there. The church has been so good to me to allow me to open up a vocal studio in their church. And then I'm also on the music, on the music team and everything. So
Because
God has been good.
exactly. And that I don't, and I can't say I known you for decades, but I just known you the last 5 years. And I can say one thing about Roxanna Byrd: she's gonna do it professionally, and she's gonna do it right. She
Oh,
don't have to do anything. If she's I mean, go
thank you.
ahead. Because when I first started my podcast, Roxanna Byrd told me, don't just put anything out there.
Yeah, that's
Make
true.
sure it look right. You know, if it ain't right, I'm going to tell you. And you put that same energy into your singing. That's what I love about you. You not
Thank
half teaching. You not half doing anything. If we going to learn a song and we going to do skills, we going to do it right. And that's what I love about you, Roxanna Bird. You all
what
about perfect.
thank you. I don't want to be too hard on you. I just, I just want you to be the best at it.
Exactly. Exactly. Because when I first started my podcast, some people's like, oh man, he wasting time. It's not, it's just gospel music. But you was one of the first ones that told me, go for it.
Yes. Yes, and you're doing a great job. I'm so proud of you. I
Ah,
really am.
thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. We gonna kind of switch the subject a little bit. So we gonna talk about more about gospel music, and I'm gonna ask you a question. What is one of your favorite projects of all time?
Oh my goodness. My
Uh-huh.
favorite project.
Yeah. We gonna get you out top of
Oh,
the
you
head
put me on the
thinking.
spot.
Yes.
I don't know of all times. I think and I when people ask me questions, I lock up. I lock up and lose every thought. I really do. But I love the project. Let the church say amen. Let the church say
Andre
amen.
Crouch,
I'm
last
locking up
project.
on you.
Yes.
Um,
I know what
I
project it
can't
is.
think of
That's Andre Crouch
Andre
last
Crouch.
CD. Yes.
He's my all time. I'm telling you, all of his projects back in the day. And when he came out with that last project, I was just overwhelmed. I was like, oh, he's back. He's back.
And little did we know that was gonna be his last project shortly before he left us.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
it's something. But he it's like he gave us a present. Like
exactly.
he gave us that present right before he went on.
So we gonna continue the question. What's your favorite choir?
Mississippi Mass Choir. Hey, no
Oh,
doubt about it.
can't go wrong with that. Can't go wrong with that. Can't go wrong with that. And it is funny that you say Mississippi Mass Choir because we talk about so much all the great choirs and gospel music, and we seem to overlook Mississippi sometimes.
I know, yes, we do.
We talk
And
about
I
love.
do I love Kirk Franklin. I love his group. I love um oh all but Mississippi Mass Choir, they go, it's the heart of it. It's the heart of
Yes,
it all.
I
They are the
remember.
heart of it all.
I remember when I was younger. We had a big family, so my dad and mother rode in two different cars with two different set of kids. And I remember riding with my father, and we would listen to Mississippi Mass Choir, and I was like, my dad would just be singing away, and he was just a big Mississippi Mass Choir
Yes.
person. So,
Oh yeah, I do. Those songs, they touch the heart. It's like those songs get you. Those singers have been, especially their lead vocalists. They've been through the storm. They've been through some stuff
yeah,
back in the day, and so the lyrics are touching. The lyrics.
exactly. Do you work with a person? I love his project, Greg O'Quinn. Just explain
Yes,
to the people how you
that's my
teamed up.
producer.
How you team up with Greg O'Quinn?
Okay,
Cause I mean, I was like, when you talk, I was like, I see hook up with Greg O'Quinn.
it was a God thing. I'm gonna tell you. This is how it happened. So, I was in a group called the Gospel Announcers Guild. I don't know if you know them in Dallas area.
Sound familiar?
Yeah, it's the Gospel Announcers Guild. I went because they advertised on Heaven 97 that they were having a meeting and all of that. And I love Heaven 97 and Joe Bagby, all that. I grew up with all that, as far as the loving the radio personalities. So I went to a meeting, ended up liking the Gospel Announcers Guild so much that I joined the guild because I was an upcoming artist. I wanted to,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be in the social part of it. And at that time, Carmina Barnett from Heaven 97, she was in the Gospel Announcers Guild with some other people as well, other radio personalities. And I got really close with them. And so we went to a meeting and they had a panel, and on the panel was Greg O'Quinn.
Okay.
And really, I didn't know him. I did not know.
I did not know
I
Greg O'Quinn.
did. I feel horrible about it. I really do. I didn't. I knew his songs, but because I heard him over the radio, but
Okay.
I did not know his face.
Okay.
I did not know him, like that at all. And I stood up to make a statement of something about being because they on the panel, you can ask them questions. So I asked the question and all that. And when I stood up and talked, I said something, I don't know what I said, but anyway, he looked my way, he pointed to me and he said, come see me after it's over with. after the discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay, but I didn't know who he was. And so I asked Carmina Barnett, who she was kind of working as my manager at that time. And I said, this guy told me to come see him after the panel discussion. And she said, that's Greg O'Quinn. Girl, if you don't get over there and see what if he tells you to, if he's telling you to come here, you better go.
Exactly.
So anyway, he asked me questions about what did I want to do. He actually saw something in me, and I'm thankful to God. And even with that, I got a little scared a little bit. I was like, oh Lord, it's getting real. And it took me a year to reach out to him, to reach back out to him. But when I was ready, I reached out to him, and we had a meeting, and he was very excited about about the prospects of my project. And he went in, and I mean, he did an excellent job. I was so blessed to have him produce the entire project.
Exactly, because I sat down to talk to you before, and from what you say, he's an excellent producer.
Oh, he's excellent. He's serious about what he do. He's serious about production, and he's very gentle and very kind. People may not believe that because he's a tall, big guy like you. and he's gentle, and he includes you. He don't just, some producers take over the project.
Mm-hmm.
They just take it over, and but no, he includes you in the project, and he takes his time with it. And so it was a great experience. And I'm working on a new project, but my husband, he is going to produce it, and Greg O'Quinn is going to be the executive producer of that project.
Okay.
So yeah, so my husband, he's gonna dabble in it, and then we have Greg O'Quinn. He's going to make the final decisions on the project.
Okay. Because I know you told me about you building your studio, and that's a beautiful thing to just be able to get up 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, let me go put this idea that I had in my head to work.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we do. It's been a dream of mine to have my own studio in my home. I think that's mostly every singer wants to have their own studio in their home.
An audio engineer like me.
Yes.
Well, you don't have to go find the studio and pay for the time to do
right.
what you want to do.
Right. And so my husband, that's always been his. And when I say my husband, because I did say earlier that I was divorced, but God blessed me to find a wonderful man in college as I was going to college.
I know him. I had some classes.
Right.
With him.
Yes.
Good guy.
And he actually was in the music department area.
Real good guy. I had nothing bad I could say about him. He's a real good guy. That's a beautiful thing where you and your husband can come together and make music.
Right. And actually that's what he actually asked me. And he said, can we make beautiful music?
I'm about to use that line, but we ain't gonna go down that road. We ain't gonna go down that road. But I'm happy for you. Don't laugh. Don't laugh at me, Roxanna. This my sister.
I threw y'all. See, I threw y'all.
we clown all day on the phone, but I love her to the full. This my sister.
But yeah, it's a blessing because we will. Our Friday nights, people go out, but our Friday nights we stay in and we go in the studio and we work on music.
Hey, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So before we leave, give the address and info again about your school and your the private lessons that you do on the side. Okay. A matter of fact, not on the side, give information about everything you do.
Okay, so as far as my project and CD and all of that, you can look it up. Roxy Perkins at Blueprints on. Let me see. hold on just a minute. Roxy Perkins, Blueprints Under Construction. That is the project. Okay. And the project is on all digital outlets. And it's also YouTube, all of that. You can look up that project that Greg O'Quinn produced. It's Blueprints Under Construction.
And,
Roxy Perkins.
and hold on, Trust is from Keaton Dwayne Bible. And I tell you, this young lady can sing. She can sing. She have a beautiful anointed voice. So you definitely want to go check out their project. But carry on, Roxanna.
Okay, and so that's the project. And then, so if you want to reach out to me for vocal lessons, beginner piano lessons, intermediate piano lessons, you can actually call the number, which is 817-751-5125. And you can also email me at roxannaperkins@gmail.com. That's RoxannaPerkins@gmail.com. And I do check my emails daily. So I will receive it and I will return your message on.
And tell them about the age that you work with, because some teachers just work with adults, some just work with kids, but tell them the age you work with.
Okay, so with vocal, I work with all ages, preferably 5 through on up. I work with all ages, and don't be afraid if you are older. Like I have a few seasoned saints that they're in their late 60s and going in, because they want to, just maybe they're having some issues with their voice, and so it's really maintaining. I teach them how to maintenance their voice, keep it together, keep vocal care. I do vocal care with them because as we grow older, our voices changes several times. And so I do a lot of vocal care. If you just want vocal care, I do that as well. And then with piano, beginners and intermediate, right now it's ages 5 through 14. Right now at this point, okay? No earlier than 5 because they can't sit still. So
yeah, exactly. I know the feeling. I know it.
Yeah, so
because I don't think people really understand the important. I hear people say all the time, "I want to be a gospel singer. I want to be an R&B singer. I want to be a country singer. I just want to jump in," but don't have no knowledge of how to handle their voice. And it's important. Hear it from a vocalist teacher. It's important to know how to handle.
It is important. You could, and you can see it too with artists who have the longevity in their vocal performance.
Yeah.
Whether they took care of their voice or not. And I'm an advocate of taking care of your voice because I see a lot of people, especially gospel artists, who do a lot of screaming and hollering. And they don't take care of their voices. They do that vocal care. And when they get to a certain age, they can't even talk. They can't even speak. And
because your vocal it's an instrument, just like me playing the bass.
Yes, it is an instrument.
I had to know what to do, how to take care of my strings, how to pull it off, take it on, tune my bass, and it's the same with vocal, right?
Right, it's the same with vocal. The same. People don't understand. Even it's biblical when you go into the Old Testament and how they put choirs together. David had a choir. People don't understand that he had a choir, a massive choir, and the Bible talks about how excellent it was. It was an excellent choir, and people don't understand that there is honor and there's a blessing when you take your gift and you become excellent in that gifting, and not perfect. I'm talking about the spirit of excellence where you take care of what God has given you, your voice, or your ability to play music, whatever. You have to take care of that. You don't you don't mismanage it.
Yeah. Cause nothing make me more upset than when I go to a church and I see the jump set got tape everywhere, the symbol chipped. I'm like, at least you can do is take the alcohol and roll it over the symbol. But you know what? It's all that like you say, take care of the gift that God gave you.
Yes.
If you're a vocalist, if you're a guitarist, if you're an organist,
yes.
you can't go a whole 3 years and haven't had your organ maintenance, and it's sounding like all that is just like vocal is just like all that. You got to be able to perfect and take care of the gift that God gave you.
That's right. I agree 100%.
I hate to be around musicians who don't know any. I ain't gonna say I hate to be around them, but it bothered me when you don't know difference between major and minor scale. You don't know. You don't know your numbers. All you know is one note, and you play that one note. It just.
Hey, and that's what I love about going back to college, because a lot of things I was self-taught. I was, even though I sung and I led choirs and stuff, I would lead for years by ear. I could by ear, did all by ear. But when I went to college, I actually learned the terminologies that I would, I learned it. It was a more excellent way.
Yes.
And so learned major minor, what that was that I was doing for so many years. This is what it means. This is the
exactly.
It just brought such a different dimension on what I was already doing.
Exactly.
So I encourage people to not just, okay, I know you have a gift and everything, but take it to another level. Go take some classes, go to some seminars, learn terminology,
learn your
look
skills.
up some YouTube videos,
Exactly. Learn your skills. YouTube, like you say,
learn
YouTube
skills.
Teach you everything now.
Yes.
And it's funny because when I first started playing the bass, we didn't have YouTube. You had to learn everything by sitting there listening to it.
Yes.
But now church musicians, they got a song to learn. Oh, I can just go to YouTube.
Right. It's the truth. It's the truth.
Yeah.
It's a teacher.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. But I am so proud of you, Roxanna. The work that you are doing with the kids, the young folks, and the adults as far as teaching, and the projects that you are working on that put on in the past speak a lot about you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm trying. I'm trying to do my best, but for the kingdom of God.
There you go.
I'm trying to do my best.
There you go. And I think people forget that sometimes. We don't do this for riches and fame. The purpose of my podcast, or me playing the bass, it's never.